Good evening and welcome to MTG Card Collector. Tonight is Friday, and you know what that means? Pack Cracking Friday. That's right, we get our daily fix, our weekly fix. If you've never watched me do this, it's okay. Every Friday I get a couple of packs. Sometimes they're from F&M matchups. Sometimes I just go and buy some packs and open them up. But every Friday is Pack Cracking Friday. It's just a little ritual I have. Just got to get my fix up. I mean, everybody goes out and buys singles every once in a while, sure. But it's always fun to open up a pack because you never know exactly what's inside. This is a little odd this week because... all right, so two of these, let's just say these two, came from Tuesdays, Type 2 Tuesday at my local LGS. Won 2 out of 4 games. They gave me 2 packs. And then on Friday, did the same thing. Friday Night Magic, won 2, lost 2. That's okay. It's all for fun. I'm going to go into the deck that I've been playing this past week. But normally on Friday, I buy 3 packs. This Friday, I did not buy 3 packs. I just, for some reason, forgot. Been having a rough week, so we'll just let it go at that. We're going to open this up, and then I'm going to go into the deck I've been playing this past week, which is a lot of fun. I'm probably going to play it again this upcoming week because it's complicated. So, yeah, it's complicated. So you got to take your time, play the deck. Every match lasts 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 50 minutes, and sometimes we don't even get to a game 3 because I'm just drawing it out, and I'll explain when I go through it. So let's get to these uncommons and rares. Now I chose to open up Dominaria first because Dominaria is still one of my favorite. Skizzik, great trampler. Weight of Memory. SRI, cost too much for me. Ooh, Clifftop Retreat. There you go. One of my favorite little red-white lands. Clifftop Retreat enters battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain or plains. It's a great little card. And then, ooh, that's a nice shiny. Shiny. Partick Wanderer for 6. Trample 5/5. And then Groon, the Lonely King. Always a fun card to play. And the Goblin. So let's put those there. Those there. Our little shiny is there. Our rare's there. I forgot Dominaria. There's always a legend. It might be a rare legend, or it might be a uncommon legend. But there's always at least a legendary creature. Why can't I open this one? This one doesn't want to open. This one's bound to be lucky because it was tough to open, right? Right? We'll get a Karn in it. Or maybe I forgot his name. Teferi. That would be awesome. Teferi is just awesome. Hate playing against him, though. Teferi sucks to play against. All right. So we got Spore Swarm. Someone was playing a Saproling deck at the FNM. They were doing pretty good. Sanctum Spirit 4. You get a 3/2 lifelinker. Discard a historic card. Sanctum Spirit gains indestructible until end of turn. Hinterland Harbor. Hey, I got 2 of the lands. Look at that. 2 lands out of 2 packs. That's awesome. Only worth about $3 to $5, but still mine. And the Howler of Fletcher. The Fire Fletcher. We'll just go with that. Fire Fletcher. That's his name. That was worth it. That was worth it. Okay, Guilds of Ravnica. Maybe we'll get something good and juicy in here. Something spicy. Something awesome. Something to make my decks better. Okay, Boros Challenger. Always a good one. Akron's Assassin. I was watching what's his name? Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming. He's got some good content, some funny content. Anyways, Bad Boy Gaming, he made a deck. Akron's Assassin. Did pretty good with it. Basically, it's get it out. Throw a bunch of +3, +3, +4, +4s on it. And then attack and let everybody on their side die. Pretty cool. Rampaging Monument. And Watery Grave. Hey, that's the one I haven't pulled. I like it. Man, I'm batting 1,000 today with the lands. Look at that. 3 freaking rare lands. And Watery Grave being the best. Watery Grave enters the battlefield. You may pay 2. If you don't, it enters tapped. You gotta love shock lands. Oops, let's put down there. And the last one. Alright, Unexplained Disappearance. Yeah, we'll just go through those real quick. Alright. An Overprice of Fame. Sorry, Price of Fame. Where did I put them? There they are. True Fire Captain. Not a bad Boros card. Has Mentor. World Soul Colossus. We got a playset of those now. And our rare mythic is... Fuck yeah. Oh, excuse me. Apologize. I apologize. Look at that. Assassin's Trophy. Do you remember the last time I pulled this? We had a little argument with TCG about this card. Ended up winning the argument. Ended up getting my $66. Only to have, what, a month now? Month and a half? I finally get my 4th one. Well, sorry, my next one. I haven't been able to get that, so kind of losing out on that one. But there we go. There's the 4 hits. Check that out. Hinterland Harbor, Clifftop Retreat, Watery Grave, and Assassin's Trophy. That's awesome. I really got lucky on those 4. Guess I didn't need to buy 3 more packs. That was awesome. All right, so let's go into this deck that I've been playing the past week. Everybody might have seen it. It is from Mr. Ali Eldrazi. Yes, we call him Ali Eldrazi. His real name is like Ali Andrazi, something like that. He works for CoolStuffInc.com. I saw this deck being played on someone else's YouTube channel, and I was really intrigued. I literally sat there with a pen and paper when I was watching it, and I was just writing down every card I saw. Because this deck was just, the way it was rolling, the way the guy was playing it, was just, it was so janky, it was fun. And I really wanted to make sure I got this deck. So I finally figured out who made it. I looked him up. I read it. I read the article about it. I even found where he had changed the deck, and I found another one where he was playing the deck. So you get to see how he plays it. So my version of his deck is a slightly, just a tiny little bit different. I'm running 26 lands. So you got 23 swamps. And because I only have 2 Kobold Strongholds, I need to get another one of these. Kobold Strongholds really works really well in this. And honestly, you really want 3. But I did change to putting a detention tower and detection tower for one of the swamps. The only reason was because of Tyrant. That dinosaur is in almost every green deck now. It's sideboarded into all the Golgari decks. When they start seeing that they can do what they can do, I have this just because when I see it, I put it in, whatever. Yeah, it takes place of a swamp, so it makes me a little weaker, but not by much. I think it's only affected me one time, really bad. But, I still won the match, so it was pretty good. This makes it so, now you can hit the Carnage Tyrant. So they're a little hex-proof. I don't care about it. As long as they don't get rid of it, which, they will. But, if you're lucky, you're able to kill them off first. What's the sideboard? I'll go into the sideboard later. Okay. So the deck is built around a couple of things, mainly built around Chromatic Lantern. It's a anti-creature deck. Played a Thousand Year Storm deck against it. I barely beat it, and I was by pure chance and duress. Most of your cards in here. Now I have 2 cast downs. You can have 3 or 4. I got 2 golden demises. You can have 2 or 3. Ritual of Soot, I definitely recommend no less than 3. And Vraska's Contempt, no less than 3. I'm running 2s, and that's probably the reason why I'm getting 2 wins and 2 losses, or like tonight, 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Probably would have been able to do more, but definitely it's creature based. I got, Moment of Cravings. I got 2 Moment of Cravings in there, and it's mostly creature. Get rid of creatures, clear the board, empty the board, make them, slow them down, and the creature decks you can hurt if they're not too fast, like the white Boros and the white Weenie, or they're so fast sometimes it's really hard to kill them off fast enough. So you definitely want to have those board sweepers in there. Treasure Map. I have 3 copies of Treasure Map in there because I do need to get the treasures as fast as the treasures as fast as possible. Chromatic Lantern is the key card, but if you lose Chromatic Lantern, these can help you in the same time. So you want to get these out. You want to get the artifact treasures, and if you can get a Chromatic Lantern out there. Once people figure out how to play it against this deck, these are gone. They're wiping them out. They're going to get rid of them as fast as they can. But if you can get 4 of them, get 4 of them. Play as many as you can, get in play. Playing against Golgari, you're gonna put that in play. They're gonna Assassin's Trophy it. Hey, that's what I would do, right? It's Assassin's Trophy it. So when I'm playing against another deck that I know is gonna have either the white Cleansing Nova or Assassin's Trophy, if I can get this in play and I know they're gonna try to get rid of it, then of course maybe game 2, game 3, I'll duress them, which is in the sideboard. I'll duress them before I cast this, or if I do get it out, I try to cast a second one too. Because they're normally not going to clean one without cleaning the other. Cleansing Nova is going to get rid of all artifacts. Kind of sucks, but hold one in your hand if you're playing a white deck. So 4 Chromatic Lanterns, which makes all your lands cast any color. Treasure Maps, which you scry 3 times, you get to have the treasures, which can be any color. So they kind of back each other up, which is great. Already went through that. All right. Karn. Scion. Great thing about Karn is you're able on their, like on the first time you get them out, maybe you up them, you look at the top 2 cards, they're going to pick one, you're going to get it, the other one. They're going to pick one to exile, and then you get the other one. -2, you get if you have artifacts out, do the -2 first, and go ahead and put some constructs out there. Constructs are, they're just going to, the more you put out, the bigger it gets. So it's really kind of cool. It'll give you a little bit of defense for Karn too. Basically this is in there to go through your deck as fast as possible. You're looking for those key simple cards. Lantern is what you want. Treasure, if you can't get the Lantern, you want the treasure. Discovery, Dispersal. I've never used Dispersal. I've only used Discovery, and this one I only have 2 of them in here. And that's just because sometimes I need that. I got flooded out. So I cast Discovery. I go through 2 cards. I just dump them because they were lands. I got another Dispersal, go through it again, got another 2 lands. Yeah, I dumped 4 lands into my bin, but whatever. You're looking for the key cards, and the key card, one of those is Chromatic Lantern. Another key card is Mastermind's Acquisition. Yes, you want this card. This one lets you go through your library, but it also lets you go through your sideboard and pull a card that you might need. Just pull a card that is going to help you win the game right then and there, or the next turn. So I got 3. I do recommend at least 3, no less than 3. 3, 4 is better, but no less than 3. If you got to cut back on maybe one of these. I got 4, the Eldest Reborn. It's another way of getting rid of a creature or planeswalker. Another way of duressing them and discarding a card. And then you get to pick one of the cards out of their graveyard. give me that, Carnage Tyrant. Thank you. And you're going to put it on your side. So it's a nice way of doing that. Okay, now for the creatures. And you'll notice that there's not many creatures. You kind of just saw a little one. There's not many creatures in this deck. One Josu. Yeah, Josu Vest, the Leech King. This is a great card. It's very rare you're not going to be able to put him in with his kicker. Yes, it costs 10. So 4 up here and then 6 on the kicker. But you get 8 2/2 menacing zombies along with him. And if you attack, like I did in one game, I attacked the next turn, that's swinging for 20 points. So if he has nothing in play, he has no creatures in play, you're swinging for 20 on your next turn. So I only got 1. Got to be very careful though. I have walked into Settle the Wreckage, which did not help him out very much. Okay, a couple of Bells and Locks. Dreamlord Bells and Locks. This is a tricky card to play if you're not used to playing it. Do take your time. This is the one that could really bite you in the butt. If you're really low in your library, you might not want to play this. You might want to go ahead and bin it if you've already been milled down or you're down to your last few cards. Because it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you bad. I'll read through it real quick. Okay, when the Demon Lord Bells and Lock enters the battlefield, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Then put that card into your hand. If the card's converted mana cost is 4 or greater, repeat this process. Demon Lord Bells and Lock deals 1 damage to you for each card put into your hand this turn. A lot of the cards in this deck are going to be 4 and more. So you're going to hit a few of the 2s and the 3s, which is going to stop you and reset it. But you could theoretically, since there's more cards that cost 4, you're going to go through a lot of your cards and take a lot of damage. So be real careful with this one. I only got 2. I only recommend 2. And then I recommend 2. This is also in the Ollie's deck. The Niv Mizzets. Remember I said you can have that Chromatic Lantern. You get one of those Chromatic Lanterns out on turn 3. And then by turn 4 or 5, if you're lucky, you can get Niv Mizzet out. And Niv Mizzet does a lot of damage all on his own. He's a 5/5 flyer, can't be countered. And every time someone casts, doesn't have to be you, it can be your opponent. Someone casts an instant sorcery spell, you get to draw a card. You draw a card, he causes them 1 point of damage. So even if they're trying to get rid of this card, and you cast another card, whatever cast spell you wanted to cast. I actually exiled my own card. I did I don't remember what they did. They bounced it back to my hand, and I had another one in my hand anyways. They bounced it back to my hand with the kicker so that they would get to draw a card. They were willing to take the 1 point, so I exiled it. I put Vraska's Contempt on it, only to cause another point of damage, and then I got to draw 2 cards. So he got to draw 1 card. I got to draw 2 cards, and he got to take 2 points of damage. So it was really nice. So I always recommend 2. Now, in the sideboard, which is also known as a wish board because of Mastermind's Acquisition. Mastermind's Acquisition says, choose one. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand and shuffle your library. Or choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. Now, I don't know if that means exiled cards too. I've been wanting to ask a judge, but most people just pull it out of their library, So pull it out of your library and end the game. Now, the first set of cards are my sideboarding cards, depending on who I'm playing. I've actually, with most of them, except for the white weenie decks, like when I'm playing a Golgari deck, I pull out. I'll put in the 4 Duresses. I might pull out the Niv Mizzets. I might pull out the Bells and Lock. I might pull out the Karns. I'm putting in the Duress because Golgari's got a lot of creatures, but I want to, before I put down my, what is it called? Chromatic Lantern, which is the weakest part of the deck, I want to Duress to make sure that what they don't have something in their hand they're going to kill me with real quick. So that's why that's there. Moment of Craving, just another couple of cards that are going to add to the carnage and killing, which is what you want. You want to bury all their creatures. Get rid of their creatures as much as you can. Get a couple of points of life. With the white weenie decks, I've been lucky enough, when I play them, I play the Dread Shade, or if I see the blue, some of the blue, what are those called? Tempo decks. You know, I'll take out the 2 Demon Lord Bezelux and put in the Dread Shades. Because if I get the Dread Shades out, I'm not going to hurt myself, but at the same time, I'm just going to pump them up every time and just keep going in, just keep attacking. Argyr's Bloodfast, because sometimes you just need that extra pay 2 life, draw card, and this is a good card to put in sideboard, especially against the Golgari decks. I find myself, as you clear the board with them, you start running out of you start running out of your hand, and now you're top decking everything. So this gives you an extra card to, you know, downside is you have to pay 2 life. So be careful with that one. Now with the Chromatic Lantern, you're able to play colored cards. Don't recommend having many. This is what he says to play, so this is kind of what I do. Now, if I'm able to get him in play, turn 6, if I'm able to get him in, I'm going to reach for Omniscience or Overflowing Insight. Overflowing Insight with Niv Mizzet is a great card combination, because this lets you draw cards, 7 cards. This lets you cause damage. So you're casting a spell, so you're getting an 8th card, and he's every time. So those 8 cards, this spell plus the 7 it gives you, those 8 drawed cards are going to beat him, you know, for 8 points of damage, which is really kind of funny. Omniscience, that just lets you cast cards from your hand. So if you got a lot of cards in your hand, you're able to cast them all at one time. Just get them out. They don't even cost anything. If you do have Josu, you do have to pay the kicker. You don't have to pay the casting cost for it, but you have to pay the kicker in order for it to get all of its abilities. When you're down on life, when everyone's beating you up, this is the card you want to get, because this card shuffles back into your library. And if you're lucky, you get a big, nice boost, go back up to 20 or more, and then beat them down, because by that time you're starting to take over. Banefire. Banefire is a great card if you just want to finish the game right then and there. If you have the opportunity, you have enough land, and you just want to smoke them and just beat them down. Cleansing Nova. I actually Cleansing Nova the board when I had a Chromatic Lantern out and a couple of tokens. Needed to, because I was playing somebody who was playing a blue Traxos deck. Great deck. It worked really well against me. We actually tied. But yeah, I had to clear the artifacts and enchantments. He was getting way too big, way too fast. So, and then of course Zakama, because when you have 9 mana and you just want to burn somebody and have fun with them, this is the best legendary card. I've gotten this one out more than any of these other cards. Just because this one, when you have the land to do it and you have the Chromatic Lantern, definitely throw him out there. He does a lot of work. So now, 2 cards I've been thinking about adding. I just haven't figured out exactly which ones I want to take out. 2 cards that I almost recommend, because when you stall out, like you're during Bloodfast, when you stall out, these will help you out if they're in play. Plus, they're a 6/6 flyer, which stops a lot of flying creatures and stops a lot of other creatures. So for 5, you get the Nightmare Demon, Doom Whisperer, 6/6. Pay 2 life, Surveil 2. So you get to know what your next card is on top of your library, and it's always great. Definitely would recommend putting these in there. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to do that yet. So that's the deck. Those are the cards. Got super, super lucky. Look at that. Super, super lucky. That'd be awesome if that could be like the thumbnail. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But if that was oh, hey, look. Thumbnail. Yeah, okay. I'm done with my stupid jokes. Bye.